Couple of cool things about your start menu that you may not be aware of is I'm looking over at the left hand side here. It's divided into two sections. Maybe you can barely see it, but there's that faded gray line. Everything that's below that faded gray line are your most recent applications, the ones that you've used recently. And the less frequency, eventually it will roll off this list here. And you can set how many recently used applications you want to display here below this little gray line. You can set up to 5. I have it set to 20, and I'll show you how to set that in just a minute. In contrast, above this gray line are permanently pinned in shortcuts, meaning that they'll never, whether I use them or not, they'll always be here for me to quickly click on and to execute and open up that program, like my internet or Microsoft Outlook. For example, let's say I use the calculator a lot, and I want to be able to pin in the calculator permanently up with these two programs so it's always there. Well, first of all, I want to find the program, my calculator. To do that, I can click down here in the Start Search and do an instant search. Start typing in calculator. And then when I'm finished, it automatically found it. I can right-click on the icon here and pin it to my Start menu, or I'm going to click off on the gray part here so my Start menu is left open. And I'm going to click on the X to close out of the search. And what I can do is click on All Programs, take you the long way now, go to Accessories, and there's my calculator. So there's more than one way to find your programs. So when I right-click on the calculator, again, I'm going to left-click to pin it to the Start menu. So when I close out, or I click on the back arrow here, there's my calculator. It's now listed in the section above where it's permanently pinned in. So it's never going to disappear. Even when I click out, shut down my computer, restart it, in 2 weeks, a year, a month, it doesn't matter, it'll always be there. So I click on the Start button and there it is. Now let's say I don't use my calculator as much anymore. I don't want it pinned there. Well, usually I tell my students, when in doubt, right click. And you can right click on the calculator and say unpin from the Start menu. When you left click on that, it removes it. Now, the next thing I want to show you is that you can set your most recently used or popular programs, how many you want to display below the gray line here. And to do that, what you can do is you can come down here and you can right-click on the Start button or right-click on the taskbar, it doesn't matter. So let me right-click on the Start button and let me go to Properties and left-click there. You want to make sure you're on the Start Menu tab and that you have selected here Start Menu and just click on the button Customize. You see down here, number of recent programs to display, mine's 20. Well, I can go ahead and type in 5 and click OK, click on the Start menu, and there's only 5. So it doesn't get too cluttered. Maybe I don't use that many programs. But I like 20, so I'm going to go back and change it to 20. Right-click on the taskbar, go to Properties. See where it's on the taskbar? It should be on the Start menu. The reason why it went to the Start menu is because we right-clicked on the Start button and selected the properties for that. Like I said, where it came up with the taskbar, we just click right on the Start menu tab, go to Customize, and then set that to 20, and then click OK. Click OK. Click on the Start button, and there we go. There's my 20 recently used programs. One final thing I'd like to show you, click on the Start button. You can actually move your pinned items around. So for example, I don't want Microsoft at the bottom. I can click it and hold it with my left mouse button and drag it just so it's above. You see that little black bar there? You don't want to drag it too far because you'll get it right off and it'll just create a shortcut on your desktop. But drag it so you see that little black line there and then let it go and it bumps it right up above Internet Explorer. It swaps spaces or places. Also, instead of right-clicking and pinning it to the permanent Start menu here, you can also hold it with your left mouse button and drag it right up above that gray line here. You see the black line now? Make sure you get a black line so you can move it in between or just below the program's already up there. You don't want it right on. That's not going to work. But move it so the black line is between, let's say, Outlook and also Internet Explorer. Let go of the mouse and now it's permanently pinned up there. Of course, if I don't want it, I can right-click and remove it from my list. Thanks for watching. Hey, as a quick reminder, if you like my video, please give it a thumbs up. You can also click on me and subscribe to my channel, get notified of the latest videos, and for only $2 a month, you can have access to all my Microsoft Office training videos.